So here's the deal. Get ready to type in your issues, your questions, your challenges, your opportunities. What's going well? What's not? Tell me the good news. Tell me the not so good news. I'm here for you. I have no agenda other than to help you master the group business model. That sounds like a sales pitch, but it's not. I'm serious. So anything having to do with your business, I'm happy to help. I really, really, really look forward to this hour together because I don't know what's coming my way, and I love to hear what's going on out there, what's happening. And, you know, I've been working on this, the Friends and Family Cruise that I'm doing, this River Cruise 2017. I don't know if you guys have been following it, but we completed the launch, and we took deposits last weekend for 2 days, actually 3 days. So if you guys have any questions about that, I'm happy to share. It's been a really phenomenal experience. I'm doing exactly what I'm going to be teaching in the group launch sequence, which I know you keep hearing this from me, but I promise you I'm almost done with the modules that you guys are going to get in boot camp as an added bonus, because it's really critical. It really, really works, because we forget the most important P of all. That's the name of one of the chapters. The P you forgot to take seriously. The P you forgot to take seriously, right? There's product, price, place. And if you get anybody on the line is a marketing person, you know what the fourth P is. The fourth P is promotion. Product, price, place, promotion. We do a great job at price. We do a great job at place, which is where we're going to promote, how we're going to promote, and product. But the problem is the promotion. Nobody has really ever taught us, unless you come from a product marketing background, how to do a product launch or a retail launch. We don't know how to do this. We've never been trained to launch a group in the same way. I figured it out, and it worked. It really does work. All right, who else is in the house to join? Anybody else type in anything? Oh, my microphone says I can't unmute myself. Well, let me see, Jan. I'm going to do it. 1 second here. Here we go. Unmute Jan. Here we go, Jan. Jan, everyone can hear everything you say. Can you hear me?
Oh, my goodness. Hi, Stuart.
Yay, Jan! You and Mike, another Mike who's not on right now. You're the only two who've ever turned your mic on. Welcome, Jan.
Thank you. Well, I know I hate seeing you sit there talking to yourself. Not really talking to yourself, but talking to yourself.
Well, listen, that's what I do half the time because nobody listens anyway. So. I'm just curious, did you have a question, an observation, something to share today, a good starting point?
I do, but I'm not sure I have it completely thought out yet. I have a group.
Okay.
And I turned my camera on, but really you don't want to see me this morning.
You want to?
No. I don't think I do. I don't think you wanted to see me this morning. I'm probably not in that realm. I have a group, and the group started out in a very simple way. It was very easy. There was no, there was really nothing unusual about it. We're going to buy 10 spaces, put 10 people on an insight tour. Mm-hmm. But then the client found a tour that she liked, mm-hmm. and we looked at that a little, but then she found another one. Mm-hmm. And that tour turned into a customized tour. So it went all backwards. Everything went backwards. And now the client is involved in writing the brochure, and because she can do it better than I can, and a number of things. So I'm left here. I'm in the middle. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to backpedal out of this. I don't know how to deal with someone who thinks they know more than I do. Help me.
All right, well, let me ask you a couple of questions, and then if you want, I could turn your mic off. So it's up to you, or sure. You can. The question is this: does this client know the pricing and the commissions and so forth?
She knows the pricing. She doesn't know the commissions. And when the tour operator gave me the information, she had given me options to mark it up. So, like, if you mark it up to this price, this is what you're going to make. I have not passed that information along to the client. She does not need to know what I'm going to make at all.
Is there a way to flip this on the positive side that she's going to do all this work and still use you to what? To do the reservations to make it all come true? Could this be a good thing? I'm putting a twist on it, maybe, or no?
Well, I'm trying to go in that direction to see that she is doing all this work, and I'm just going to, in the end, do all the work afterwards. I mean, I'll be doing everything from the point where she's done interacting with clients and the fees and invoicing and all of this.
Yep. Okay. Let me give you a couple of points here. First, I just want to welcome in Deb's in the house. Good morning, Deb. Lots more people came in. Very, very cool. We got a great full house today. Okay, here's what I'd like to say, Jen, which is, you know, one of the most important things, and I admire you for trying to do this from the beginning, which is for you, the travel profession, to take control and maintain control. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, we meet somebody like that who's ambitious and eager, and in one respect, maybe it's good because now they've got significant skin in the game. Now they're really in it to win it because they're putting all these hours in, they're designing it, and they feel like they're a part of it. So there's one part of me that says, and I know I'm not you, Jen, because I'm not working with this client. It's probably driving you crazy. But on one hand, it's like, okay, fine, you lay out all the details, and it's still my booking. I control it. You're not looking to take it over. You're not going direct. All this kind of stuff. So there could be some good stuff because she's so into it that she is committed to it, and that's going to come through when she starts to talk to the other group members because she's going to sell it with true passion because she has such a stake. She's a stakeholder now. So let's look at the good side, right? And she's definitely going because she's putting a darn thing together, I would imagine.
Yes.
So here's the deal. I think it's never too late to take control and to maintain control, which is if you haven't already if you haven't already made that group letter agreement, what she's going to do, what you're going to do, it's never too late to do that, and you can now build in that she's going to shape it, form it, create it, whatever, but you're going to deliver it. And sort of begin to rein her in because at some point you're going to need to schedule the launch. You're going to need to schedule the presentations. You're going to need to put together these invoices and the whole process of booking and every. So put her in a box, in a good box, and you're in a box, what you're doing and how you're going to work together. I think that one of the things I'm feeling that I want to say, and everybody, you guys chime in if you've ever had a group leader do this to you, or if you have a tip or an observation for Jen.
Yes.
And this is what I'm feeling right now, is that even though it's frustrating to you because this is something new, it's never happened, things seem to be sort of spinning, possibly out of control, but you're going to take control, is to express incredible, absolute gratitude for all the time and all the work and all the effort. Compliment. This is wonderful. This is great. Wow, you are fantastic. I'm gonna hire. You're gonna be on my team soon. You're so good. Make her feel great that she's doing it, rather than sort of a standoff possible relationship. But Jen, by giving her all these compliments and acknowledging all the hard work she's doing, because it sounds like a labor of love for her. Sounds like she's enjoying it.
She's loving it.
Acknowledge it. And it will be so much easier for you to say, put your hand on her shoulder and say, friend, I've got great news. Now, what I'm going to do at this point is I want you to pass the baton to me. This is a marathon. This is a relay race. You have done and are doing magically well. This is going to be such a success. Okay, but let me tell you now how it transitions what would be great for you to do and what would be great for me to do at this time. And then, sequence things out the way you know it's got to go. but
Mm-hmm.
it's time to rein it in, but do it lovingly, kindly, gently, so she feels she's done great, so you don't lose her enthusiasm.
That's great advice, because I have been working on the agreement. That's not been lost here. But because things keep kind of changing, the agreement hasn't really been nailed down yet. So as these crazy things go on, I am keeping this agreement letter here, and I'm going to consult with her, to collaborate with her to make it a true agreement between the both of us. But thank you very much. That is such encouraging information.
Good, you bet. All right, Jan, you want me to put you on mute?
I'll put you on myself on mute, okay?
Okay, terrific. Thank you very much, Jan. Hey, everybody, a nice round of applause. Go ahead. God, I want to hear it. Everybody, round of applause for Jan. Way to go. That was really great to be able to interact with you, Jan. And very, very, Jan, I just want to make sure it's muted. Yeah. To hear your voice and to share. It's an interesting case that you brought to us, too, because isn't this interesting, friends, that boot camp, by the way, for you boot campers who just came in, welcome. We kicked off right away strong with a great, an issue. Normally we don't get the group leader to do enough. They're not doing what we need them to do, want them to do, or that they say they're going to do. And Jan has a case where this group leader is going off. They're doing the research, putting together the custom trip and everything. And thank goodness, Jan, and I didn't say this before, I'll say it now, is that you kept the numbers, okay, close to the vest, because I still hope there's a chance for you to put together the package, so to put together the margin that you intend to earn on this for all the effort and the work that you're doing. And one of the key words you used at the end was collaboration. Listen, everybody, collaboration. If that you can, I believe you can take control, maintain control, position yourself as the authority. Because remember, think of it this way, they hired you, and you can use those words. Jan, you can say this to the group leader, everybody, tell to the group leader, this is what you hired me to do. This is what I do for a living, and I love it. It's not a living, it's fun, it's great stuff. But having them feel that they're collaborating with you, they're going to be so much more engaged throughout the process. That skin in the game concept, where that they're putting their good name on it, and you want that, right? We want those group leaders to make the phone call, send the emails out, go, yes, and get this thing sold out. And you may be doing another group with her, and you'll know going in what she's like. Savor it. It's not too often we have group leaders who get this. This engaged in the process, but still, she hired you, and it's very important to submit yourself as the authority, as the professional, right? And that you got it from here. But here's what I still need you to do. We're still working together. You're not off the case. You're on the case. We're doing this together. And as you shake hands and give her a big hug, all right, that you got to maintain that control so it goes precisely, perfectly, and smoothly. And, you get it. This is great stuff. Thanks. Great question to lead off with. And anybody, if you have had this issue, or is it an issue, or this challenge, or this new experience, share it. I'd love to hear it. All right. Debbie has typed in. Jen, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, we're going to Debbie's next. What question should I ask of a business / a church, someone I would like to ask to lead a group to find out who would be the decision maker? Okay, so this is at very early stages of really sourcing new business. I'm going to read it again. What question should I ask of a business or church, someone I would like to ask to lead a group to find out who would be the decision maker? Well, first of all, if you had some kind of a connection there if you're a part of that church, if you do business with that business, that's a good start, because if you go talk to somebody you can start so this is my first tip, start a casual conversation. And don't sell anything, because you don't want to start selling anything. You just want to know who to talk to. So you have a conversation. Oh, who runs this? Who does this? Is awesome. I love coming to this church, or I love doing business with you. Is it a hands-on owner, or does the church have various organizations? Is there a travel committee? Sometimes there are trip and travel or recreation committees, activity committees. You can find out. So first start with somebody you may know, some kind of a connection, casual conversation, and get some names. If you don't know anybody, it's time to get to know somebody somehow. Do you have a friend or family, somebody who has a connection there? Or start a conversation. And the most important thing about starting that conversation is not to sell, and not to say what you do and all this kind of stuff, but you need to show the interest in them. Say, wow, this is great. I love doing business here. It's a church I love coming to. Or I have family and friends who come there. They love it here. And I know that, Debbie, you probably have an idea of what you'd like to do, a kind of a group you think would work. But you can't go selling that concept. But you can ask questions like, I'm curious, do you guys ever have annual events? Don't say anything about travel. Just incite a conversation, inspire do you guys ever have big events, an annual big dinner or anniversary celebration for the church, or if it's a business, sit down and have coffee with the owner. I've said this before. And say, hey, I'm a small business owner too. I work from home. Maybe you work from home, Debbie. And I use your business all the time. I get my wine from you or whatever. Let's just break bread. Let's have coffee with me for 30 minutes. We're both in the same game here. We're both solopreneurs or entrepreneurs. And what you want to do is, in the business case, what are the challenges that you work on, that you're dealing with now? It's probably the same as mine, right? Finding new customers, keeping them loyal. Let them say that. Debbie, let them say that. Well, always growing my business, getting the repeaters to come back and finding new people. Say, okay, loyalty is a big issue here because, Debbie, just so you know, unless you have a specific theme in mind, don't go and selling anything, but you have to find out what their problem is. If it's a business, if their challenge is to source new customers or keep them loyal, keep them coming back, well, you might just have a solution. And you're not going to say that on the first meeting, maybe not even the second meeting. Because you're going to send them a text to me, hey, Joe, let's get back together. I just had this really cool idea. I can help you. You can help me. Let's have another coffee. Give me 15 minutes. Joe, your issue is you want new customers, you want to keep them loyal. Well, let's do a loyalty trip. You're gregarious, you're outgoing, you love meeting the people. I see you in the store every day shaking hands, kissing the babies. Let's do something cool. And it's same with the church. Find out if there is this committee who holds sway, who is the influencer. Sometimes it's not always the person with the biggest title. Who's the influencer? Start a conversation. Don't go in selling, because if you do, nobody wants to be sold to. I'm sure the churches, I'm sure the businesses get asked to do, to buy something every day. They don't want to buy anything. They need help. You need to find out why they need help. And maybe the church, maybe they have a big anniversary celebration. Maybe they've always talked about wanting to go on some kind of a tour, a spiritual tour, or to go to Israel, whatever it may be. And you can give them ideas, but your ideas have to solve their problem. That's how you get in there. The other thing I like to recommend is, if they're a part, if that business or the church, if they have meetings, associate, join those committees. If there's a church, get involved there so people know you, see your face, get to like you, and then you sort of ease your way in, and you've got a solution to a problem, which is to have a big banquet, on the motor coach. If I have a big banquet at sea, whatever that trip is, if it's a local tour or an international, whatever it may be. And especially if it's a business, find out, ask the owner of the business, hey, what organizations are you a part of here in town that I'd like, any breakfast clubs, you go to Toastmasters, what do you do? Make friends. And just don't go in for the sale. Realize that you have the key to solving a problem. Travel solves a problem. It brings people together. You have fun. You build loyalty. You make memories. You guys have a very, very powerful key to happiness, okay, to memory building. Nobody else can do what you do. I hope that helped. I hope that helped because I really believe that's the way to do it. Debbie, just let me know if that helped. And everybody, if you disagree with me, let me know. If you got a better idea, let me know. Share it. You want to put your microphone on? Let me know. Just type in because I think you need to unmute your mic and then let me know. Okay, and then I'll unmute it because I think we got to do like a double unmute. I'm not really sure. Michael Brown. Question. Explain the difference between taking group space and doing a partial charter. Great question. I'll read it again. Michael, thank you very much for this question. Explain just between taking group space and doing a partial charter. Okay. Group space, as you all know, is what it is, where you go, you take out space. Sometimes the supplier will ask you for the deposit. And usually you can't get, if it's a cruise ship, you may not be able to get any kind of cabin assignments or whatnot. You can reserve different staterooms, different categories, and maybe they'll give you a little lead time before you have to put a deposit up. Sometimes it's first, second, final, but they have the right to take space back. Right, Michael, with a standard group, everybody, you know this. They can take space back as much as you want, but theoretically you're locking in a rate, okay, certain amount of staterooms in a category. If it's a resort, it's really the same thing. And then you have certain rules you need to follow as you submit names and you call in payments because basically you're still, unless you're collecting the payment for a group, usually the payment gets called into the supplier. Now you know you can still do markups on that, so you can create your package. Make sure you know their rules, that they're collecting an overpayment and that you're going to get that money back after. Because remember what I say about commission. It's just a tip. It's just a gratuity. I don't know how you can survive on commissions alone, but you can survive if you get your gratuity, your tip, and also your markup that you want to put in there. So that's a group. Okay, it's lower risk than any kind of a charter because you can usually give up your space, give it back, or get your deposit back. They tell you what the rules are. So other than the time and the effort, Michael, that you put into marketing it, selling it, there's usually a time where you get your money back, your deposit back, and not lose anything. Okay, of course, if you go over those deadlines, if you don't sell it all, and you're within that penalty period. But you do have options to get out. A charter, whether it's a full ship or a part ship charter, basically means you are buying those rooms outright. You're buying it outright. So in my case, for my partial ship charter, okay, which means that I didn't buy the whole ship. I will tell you, I bought 20 staterooms. I had to say specifically what categories, okay, and I will be able to, as I get deposits, which I already did over the weekend, because I'm able, even before it opens for sale, I'm able to designate which stateroom numbers, okay, because I'm going to get my monies and everything in before anybody else, right, because I started early. Right? April 2017 is my river cruise. So a partial ship charter is, now here's the big thing, is much higher risk than a group, but much higher payoff than a group. Because when you do a charter, you're buying the staterooms up front, and in most cases, you can't give them back, cannot give them back. You own them. You own them. You buy them outright. You still have to pay port taxes, gratuities, all that kind of stuff on top of it. But you know, so the downside is you get stuck with it if you don't sell it. Okay, some contracts are all different. They offer different leeway. You can give a certain amount of space back before a certain amount of time. That's with a partial ship charter. If you're doing a full ship charter, different story. You own that puppy. If you don't sell it, it goes out empty. And if it's an ocean ship, it's going to cost you millions and millions of dollars. If it's a river cruise, not quite $1 million, but it's going to cost you a lot. Well, actually, probably close to it. But the payoff is that you're getting very, very, very attractive rates. And one more thing, Michael, they're net pricing. There's no commissions. You don't talk any commissions here. It's net. So I have a spreadsheet that's probably, 6 feet long that gets that I have those net charter rates, and I do a series of markups. And it's in boot camp. I teach you how to calculate the margins and the markups that you want to make. Okay, and the other difference is that with the charter, I'll go into more detail, is that with the charter, I am collecting all the payments. Now, I can call it in to Amber Waterways, but there's a credit card fee. There's a credit card charge. And because I'm doing the markups on my own margins, I'm taking all payments. Okay, and it's the same difference. I'm going to give up 3% for a credit card fee no matter how you slice it. Okay, it's the same difference, right? So with a group, it's so much easier to call a payment in there unless you have a merchant account. You want to take it yourself. With a charter, it's also a lot easier for me to tell customers, look, I've already bought these staterooms, so you're paying me. SLC, ETC is on your credit card statement. I'm telling them this 100 times over because I don't want them saying, what the hell is SLC? It doesn't say Amber Waterways. I'm telling them it's not going to. I tell them you can't buy this product, this package, direct from AMA because we built in these special things. These staterooms are ours. They're reserved. So you can't get this anyplace else but me. You pay me. And then, of course, I have various payment stages. I've already put a deposit down, and then I have stages, Michael, that I have to pay the cruise line, the balance. And then the difference stays on my checking account. That's going to be my profit. Tell me if that helps. Tell me if that helps. Debbie says, that was very helpful to what I answered before. Good, I'm glad. Tell me, Michael, if that helped you, what I just said. And if anybody else, I'm curious, has anybody else online ever done a partial ship charter? I have friends, one of my very good friends, you may have heard his name, Jason Bukama. He has the Groove Cruise. And he has now, I was his business coach when he started off doing groups, and it grew to larger groups, and then he did a half ship charter, and now he does multiple, more than multiple, full ship charters every single year with the Groove Cruise. He's on his way, baby. He's a brilliant young man, and I helped him because when you do these ocean cruise contracts, they're a foot thick. River cruise contract is not quite as deep, but still a lot of risk. Michael says, very helpful, I'm glad. Michael said, I thought I heard you say during the earlier session that if the launch bombed, you would pull the plug on the charter. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's why, Michael, that's why I did the promotion so early. I made sure I got promotions in when I was still protected, all right, so that I would, aside from all the time and energy, I'd be okay. And I won't tell you something. We are more than 50% sold out. So there you go. And we've only done half the marketing. You see, I own the charter, and I've marketed to family and friends. And we sold more than 50%, took deposits. Okay? Why? Why did it work so well? Because I did the sequence of events. We had those 4 presentations, and then I told everybody when I would take deposits. On Friday, I took deposits from the VIPs. And then Saturday, Thursday VIPs, Friday and Saturday were from everybody else. And guess what? Because I told them when to buy, I told them when I would be accepting money, and that it was okay to purchase now. I asked for the business. They did it. Now, Laskin Kennedy comes back. She's in Scotland right now. Actually, she's getting on another cruise. She is my co-host. Okay, she's a blogger. And she was going to be, and she's marketing to her group of people. So I think and that starts in January. So I think we're going to be just fine. But yes, I made sure, Michael, that I promoted it really early to make sure this puppy was going to work. Absolutely. And I'm pleased to say we're on the road to success. It was good. My hope is that I go back and get more staterooms before they open it up for general sale. Hope that helps. Steve, charters sound like a ton of risk. How do you justify taking that kind of risk? I'm going to read it again. Charters sound like a ton of risk. How do you justify taking that kind of risk? Well, my quick answer to that, Steve, is that it's in my DNA. I'm not a reckless risk taker. I believe I am a smart risk taker, but I'm a risky kind of guy. I don't like staying in the box. I don't like when people tell me can't be done, you're nuts, you're crazy. That just adds more fuel to the fire. Now, of course, before I made this decision, I probably about a year thinking, focusing, concentrating, feeling it, using my intuition. Can I make this work? Do I know enough people in my friends and family circle? Because I'm not advertising this, I'm not marketing this outside my circles, okay? And of course, I had my wife's buy-in too, because this involves the two of us. The reason why is because Kimberly and I, we wanted to go on a river cruise. Again, we love it so much. And we said, why not go with our friends and family? Why don't we make it a really wonderful opportunity for them? So many people have never done it, and let's really put together just an amazing package, and we'll take the risk. And we'll put minimum markups in it, because I'm not looking to make a killing here. This is just my case. I can do that if I want, because I just want to go. I want to go travel free, okay, get my expenses paid for, and I want to give my mom this amazing opportunity. Kimberly's mom and dad, this amazing opportunity. My mom has never been on a river cruise. Her parents have. And you know what? I can't tell you how many friends and family outside of my circles they've told, and they've already gotten friends and family to come too, and more that are contemplating, that couldn't make the decision by then. And of course I'm going to take their money when they're ready to book if I still have space. But right now we're closed, till we open up again. I like taking the risk, and it afforded me, Steve, final answer, the opportunity to create a package that I thought was very appealing. River cruise can be very expensive, as you know. This is late April, so the prices are starting to go back up. It's coming out of shoulder season. The weather is nice, not too cold, not too hot, not peak season. And I wanted to give my friends and my family this opportunity. And at the very least, I wanted, to look at it as a small investment. All investments are risky, Steve. I don't have to tell you what the market's been doing. I know I have more control over this than any other investment if it's in the markets, because I don't know what the world's going to do, what the markets are going to do, but I know I'm going to work my tail off to make this work. So to me, it was a risk worth taking, and I hope that answered your question, Steve. That from the heart, you just got it right there. All right, bring it, everybody. I need some more questions over here. Well, I got Linda's in the house. Welcome, Linda. Lori's in the house. Welcome, Lori. Who else we got here that I didn't say hello to yet? Deb, did I say hello to? Yeah, we got two Debs, Debbie and Deb. Yep, say hello to, yep. All right, bring it, everybody. I'm here for you. What else you want to talk about? You got an issue. You got an opportunity. Here we go. Nope, I thought there was a question being typed in right now. Nope, I don't see it. Bring it. We're at the halfway mark. So while we're at the half mark and you're thinking of possibly turning your microphone on, that Jan did before, I have just one thing that you know, the next Ask Stuart Hour is November 10, 2 weeks from now, at 11 Eastern Time. Okay, this time seems to work well with people, I think. So I'm going to stick to this time, but I'm changing around the days. It's either going to be a Tuesday or a Thursday. Okay, and then I head out of town the week of the 10th. I fly down to Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to be teaching at Cruise World, and I think some of you know that. Let me know if I don't already know if you're going to be down in Fort Lauderdale for Cruise World. I'll be there, and then Kimberly flies down, and then we're going to board the Norwegian Escape. She's on vacation. I'm working. I'm teaching for at another conference. This one is the Cruise One Cruises Inc. conference. As you guys know, a few weeks back I was doing the Palace Resorts conference, so when I get the call, I go wherever they want me to go, and this one happens to be on a cruise ship, so yay! So I don't know if I'm going to see anybody at either of those two events. It would be very cool. Debbie says, looking forward to the escape. That's right. I'm going to see you on the escape. What am I saying? We're escaping with me. I'm very excited. We're really, in fact, Kimberly said to me last night, do you realize we're going on a cruise, a 7-day Caribbean cruise? Now, She's spoiled by now because she's gone on a bunch, and I've been in this business like many of you for a long time, and I've been blessed to go on so many cruises, tons of inaugurals, but the excitement never goes away. I just love it, and I'm going to be doing some videos on board too. So Debbie, I'll see you on board. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, who else has got a comment, a question, an issue? Bring it. I'm here. Let's talk about it. By the way, if any of you guys want to do charter stuff, let me know. I really talked just a little bit about it in boot camp because it's really highly specialized, and it's good to know before you go getting in. But it's something you may want to consider, guys, because like I say, high risk, but a big high payoff too. You know, it's always been my dream to actually charter a full ship river cruise, but that's not going to happen now. I got too many things going on. I'm starting rebranded my health coaching business. I've got the URL instead of Healthy Sexy Aging, it's Healthy Sexy You, and we're relaunching it because I don't want to say mothball it because group boot camp has been overwhelming for me, and I love it to pieces, and I'm still going to keep doing it, obviously, but getting all the modules done, and now there's the newest modules, Group Launch Sequence, which I'm recording right now. But we're relaunching that, and I have another new business coming out that I think you guys are going to love. It's not just for travel people. It's for, if you're in business, basically for yourself. If you own a business, if you're a small business person, you're going to love it. It's a network. It's a network. I can't tell you the name of it just yet, but it's going to be big. I hope you guys will want to join. There's no fee to join, and it's going to be just general, really cool networking and business advice in a much more general sense. Okay. Jan says she's going to be in the Escape Inaugural, November 9 to 11. Cool. I think that's great. Awesome. I've been on the last 3 inaugurals with Norwegian because they had me do my loyalty presentations. This year they have a full agenda, so have fun. That's awesome. So I get on the ship when you're getting off. I think we're going to be the first cruise, the first official cruise. That's great, Jan. Let me know how it is. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Lori, what made you decide to partner with someone on the river cruise? How did you decide who to partner with? And how do you decide how to split the work, profit? It's a great question. Let me read it again. I'm going to answer it. Thank you, Lori. What made you decide to partner with someone on the river cruise? How do you decide who to partner with? And how do you decide who to split the work with? Okay. In this particular case, Sherry, she's a professional blogger. It's Cruise Maven, cruisemaven.com. I've known Sherry for many, many, many years, and I knew that I didn't think, unless I advertised and marketed it bigger, which I didn't want to do, I was never going to be able to do a charter and fill 20 staterooms, really, because, like I said, I don't want to be in your business as a travel agent. I respect what you do. I'll help you be successful, but I just want to go on a trip with my family and friends, and I had the opportunity to do this charter, so I went and I did it. And Sherry, as a blogger, she'd always wanted to do a group with her followers. And I said, well, let's tag along here. And Sherry, so you're going to market it. She's marketing it to her database of people. So we're going to do a launch sequence for her people. And she helped me with my launch sequence too. But basically, that's Friends of Sherry. Friends of Sherry. And so the next step is that because she's a professional blogger, she's been on this itinerary 6 times. Okay, she's helping put together the events. We're doing a special land event exclusive excursion that's included, free, complimentary. We're also doing a special a group cruise excursion that doesn't overlap with anything that's being done on the ship, because you know all the excursions generally are free, are included, are complimentary, already included on the river cruise. So I thought that A, should be a great marketing partner, B, she's very knowledgeable and is helping to put together these programs, and C, she's fun, she's a friend. She's a friend. I've known her for many, many years. She's a fun friend, and I think it would be great. I'm positioning her to my friends and family who have no idea who she is as an asset. She's like our VIP, listen to this, our VIP concierge. She knows what's around the corner. She'll make sure we don't miss anything, even though I know the folks on whatever ship we may be talking about, the cruise manager, they're awesome at helping and touring, but, you know, having somebody there as sort of the co-host is kind of cool. because I'm convinced that if you guys ever wanted to be the group leader yourself, and tell me if you've ever done this, if you're the group leader, I've had people say to me, well, why should we go? And my first answer is, because I'm going. I'm going with Kimberly, and I'm a lot of fun. You want to have an amazing journey. You want to go with fun people. And I'm leading the show. I'm going to be there with you. I'm going to be a step ahead behind the scenes to make sure everything goes perfectly smooth. Now, I know it will. We're not having meetings and workshops and stuff, all right? But there's a safety factor. If you go out to your friends and family or your clients and say, I'm going. This is a president's cruise, a president's trip, president's journey. I'm going. Come with me because I'm going to take care of you. Take you by the hand. It's going to be a great time. And it really convinces people to go when they might not have otherwise gone. When you and pick a destination you want to go. Have you ever done this? Where do you want to go that you want to experience with friends and family or clients? I don't have any clients per se. You guys are my clients, okay? You're welcome to come. But that's how I did it, and we did the group letter agreement thing, Lori. We did. She knows what she's doing. I know what I'm doing, and we both, that's the deal. So did that help, Lori? Tell me if that answered your question. While I read Steve, Steve is asking this question. On your River Cruise charter, is Sherry sharing the financial risk with you? What skin in the game does she have? What benefit does she get from co-hosting? Great question. No, this is entirely my financial investment. I don't like to look at it as a risk. I call it as an investment. And the way we built our agreement is that there's an opportunity for her, and there's a risk for her too. Okay, so and really, I'm working with her as I would work with any group leader, as you would work with any group leader, to be honest with you. In this case, though, I'm sourcing my own guests too, obviously. Of course, she's sourcing her guests. So it's really, Steve, it's not too dissimilar, which is a double negative. It's very similar to working with any group leader. In this case, of course, I happen to know her. She's a friend. I trust her. But still, this is a business matter. And you never leave anything like this when you're talking high stakes just to a phone call. So it's papered up how it's going to work. So while I have my own financial investment, my own financial risk, okay? So does she. So does she. And again, in terms of her engagement with the project and her responsibility, it's fitting. It fits. No, she doesn't run the risk of losing all the money that I've put up, okay? But basically, her, there's an upside for Sherry to fill every one of the staterooms that we're hoping she's going to be able to fill with her followers, her loyals, her people, and there's an upside to that too. The more she sells, the better it is for her. Better is for both of us. So without revealing the specific terms, and really, I didn't do anything with her that I didn't already put in boot camp that I wouldn't already advise you to do. There's no gimmies here, everybody. No group leader, no matter how good a friend, gets a gimme. Nobody gets a gimme. A gimme means guaranteed. Right? We got to work for these things. Okay, so Lori says, yes, that was helpful. Okay, Steve, I hope that helped. Let me know. All right, here we go. Linda, so I have a group of family and friends going in the Carnival Dream in November. I didn't start as a group, but ended up with 14 people. So what ideas do you have to post on my Facebook to create interest in new groups? Okay, so basically, Linda, from what I'm gathering here is you're not asking me what you can do with the Carnival Dream. Basically, you're sharing that this started off as just a bunch of individual bookings that turned into a group, and now you've got 14 people, which is awesome. And this is something, speaking of Norwegian Cruise Line, Alex Pinello, he's been on the Ask Stuart Hour early, one of the first ones. One of his big things is that before you hang up the phone with one booking, do you have anybody who wants to go with you? Turn every single booking into a multiple booking. Why not? Don't even say the word group. But, a lot of times people do want to travel with other people. So, and you've got a mini group there. That's awesome. Linda, congratulations. So, but your question is, so what ideas do you have to post on my Facebook to create interest in new groups? Okay, so this is a different question. Well, you can always go the direct route, and I don't think it's going to work, by just saying, I'm a group expert. I want your groups. I love doing groups. I'm really great at it. Been in the business for 25 years. I don't think that's going to work. Nobody cares you've been in business for so many years. All they care about is how you're going to, keyword, transform their lives. That's what you do. You're transformers. You guys transform lives. My goal is to try to transform your life so that you can do an even stronger, incredible job of transforming their lives. And then, in the end, you end up transforming my life, too, by being here with me now, being at boot camp, being my friend, and sharing and having these talks every other week. So here's what I would do on Facebook. I would just start a conversation. I would engage them. Here we go. Get ready to write this down. Number one, if you have any groups going on right now, or if they're fairly recent, post some pictures. Talk about it. Say memories of an incredible celebration at sea with the such and such anniversary party. What a great group celebration. No selling. You see what I'm saying? Just share. Share prior experiences. These are testimonials, but you're not selling to me. Don't hit me over the head with this. Just use Facebook for sharing. Wonderful memories of when we traveled to Europe on this river cruise 2 years ago. Here's a picture of such and such. Here we are having a Pilsner in milk. Tell the story, get them engaged, and put in the word group. Show pictures of you as a group. Believe me, they'll know you do groups. They'll know you love groups. But you're doing it indirectly. It's an indirect sales approach. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, ask the question that I have at boot camp that I tell you all the time to ask. Do you have any big celebrations on the horizon? And don't just ask the question. Share one of yours. Or share a story of how you're taking a celebration and doing a group, but don't sell. So if you ask that question, what big celebrations do you have in 2016? Okay, I'm helping the Cohen family celebrate a 50th wedding anniversary party at sea. And just show a picture of the ship or whatever. And that's going to pique interest, and it's going to get interest. Does this make sense? That's my number two reason how to use Facebook. Okay, and number three, and it really, Facebook is all about engaging and starting conversations. Number three is you can start a separate group off your main. I have several groups. I have a river cruise group off of my main one, and you can say that. And you know what? I don't know, Linda, if you have a passion. Is it I don't know, skiing? Is it crocheting? Is it spiritual in nature? Do you have a passion that you would love to attract people to do a group? Start a group and say, hey, to all of my friends and family and clients, if you have any interest in wonderful wine and wine pairings, if you enjoy that experience, I'm starting a separate group here. I'm going to invite you into the group. We're going to talk about wine. So you start a group, a public group. And whoever wants to be in that group are the people who are interested in talking about wine. And you start a conversation. You share. And before you know it, one thing can lead to another thing. Before you know it, you may have an opportunity to introduce a group. Hey, everybody in this private group, what would you say if we went on a wine-themed cruise? Because they do this on the river cruises, right? Wine-themed. It's already done. And you know, the cruise ships these days, they already have built-in themes. Or it could be at a resort, whatever it is. So there's three ideas. Tell me, if you haven't typed in anything yet, if you're sitting there listening and watching, did any of those 3 resonate? Can you do any of those 3? I bet you can. I just want to know if you think they might work for you. Linda, tell me if that helps for you. Tell me. Steve, thanks. You've made me think about possibilities. Awesome. Good. Good. You know, there's a Neil Donald Walsh quote that says, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. At the end of your comfort zone. That's where life begins. And you may have heard me say this before, but I don't really like that very much, because that means right now life hasn't started yet if I'm in my own comfort zone, which to a degree I believe in, but that means I got to go in an uncomfortable zone, a discomfort zone, in order for life to begin. And that's kind of scary for all of us, right? So why can't life begin in a new comfort zone? And I think, you know, if doing a partial ship charter, and it could be on an ocean cruise, could be on a river cruise, you know, could be that new comfort zone for you if you understand how it works, if you got a good plan, and if it feels good intuitively. I don't know about you, Steve, but I rely a lot on intuition as a business person. You know, I know that when I jump into things sometimes and I go too fast without thinking, they fail. But if I give it time, I'll wake up and I'm saying, this is good. I'm going to do it. Or I'll wake up in the morning saying, this is not good. It's not going to work. Or the timing is wrong. So I remove it from my want-to-do bucket. We all have want-to-do buckets. Question is, how many of us get stuff done that sits in the want-to-do bucket? The key is, there always should be stuff going in and stuff coming out. Right? Hopefully you come up with new ideas all the time. And when you take these ideas out, some of them you do, most of them you don't, because you've given them time. And does it fit your big picture, your goals, your passions? Is it something you're going to love doing? If it's going to be a drag, you're not going to do it. What else we got? Linda says, very helpful. We'll try to be creative on our cruise. Good deal. Yeah, so, you know, even if you're still looking to, well, no, your cruise is in November. It's coming up, the 14 people, right? So you can't add people at this point, I would imagine. All right, here's the deal. We got 7 minutes to go. Who haven't I heard from yet? Tell me. Turn on your microphone. Type in anything at all. How can I help? What do you need to know? Because I'll give it a 60-second countdown. Don't leave yet. Always somebody in the last 60 seconds, and then we'll talk about it. I'll help, I'll answer, but you got me for 7 minutes. Ask me. Hay pregunta. A question. That's about as much Spanish as I know. Remember, November 10th is the next Ask Stuart hour. One would have been scheduled for Thanksgiving week. We're not going to do it Thanksgiving week. So I believe I posted it. It's not up yet. I'm going to post it right after this is over for December 3rd, I believe, but you'll see it there. From now on, I'm always going to have 2 that you can RSVP for at a time. I'll just shift up the most recent. So the next one is November 10th at 11 Eastern Time. And you feel free to always send me information, questions, stuff you want to talk about in advance so we make sure we get it. But this has really been great. I hope you guys have felt this time together has been worthwhile. We got 6 minutes left and 30 seconds left. If I don't get another question, we're done. Everything else you got to do, you can go attack, and stuff I got to attack too. But right now I'm here. I'm 100,000% present. The phone is unplugged. This phone is on vibrate. The email is off because I'm committed, dedicated to you. And we got 15 seconds left. 15 seconds left. Don't leave yet. I can see everybody. You're still in. But it looks like there's nothing else coming through. All right then. Oh, Jan says, thank you very much, Stuart. Love this hour and your help. It's my pleasure. A pleasure. Something I learned when I was at LeBlanc. They don't say thank you after they serve you. They just say a pleasure. A pleasure. That's what they say. A pleasure. Not a thank you, but a pleasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, my boot campers, I am so grateful. Deb, you are most welcome. A pleasure. I'm so grateful you've come to give me this time together. Rock and roll. Go out there, make it happen. There's people who need you bad, desperately, and there's groups all around you, right in your own backyard. Good luck to you.